What's up, guys? We're back. So this is part 2 of the jail video, repair video. So if you look at these leads, remember these leads? Remember that come off the collar to the terminals? If you look at these leads, you can see where the flat, see this flat piece? That is where this flat piece, see this flat piece? These coil wires are here. See the wires, those? So basically they get it and they pinch it around it. See that? See how it's like twisted around it and then they solder it. That's how JL did that. See that? So we're gonna kind of copy that. So now we're gonna try to remove this old stuff. You see that? See how it's flat right there? And you see how it's flat? So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so you can see how we heated these two up, right? We heated these two up, and this is what we got out. I know it's still hot, but that's what we took out. Zoom out. That's the flat piece we took out. See the flat piece? That's what we took out. That flat piece, it was like I said earlier, we have these two wires, right? These two wires are joined right here. They go here and they come out. They get this piece, they get this flat thing right here, this part of the coil, and they get this, and this is a wire, and they wrap it around the wire, and then they solder it. That's what they did. See that? So we're removing the old stuff because we're gonna make room for the new stuff. So that's what we did right there. So now we gotta do the other side. Okay, so after we take off all the old tinsel leads from the coil, it should look something like this. See how this looks? See, we took it off. And this is how, that's what we took off right there. See, it's kind of like pinched and wrapped on it, and then they solder it. Okay. Now that we have most of it cleaned up. So, remember these two lines here. Remember that these lines, we're gonna go down to this line. Let's see. Remember this top line, and then we have this, where is it? That bottom line right there. See it? That line? So we're gonna stop right there. And then we're just make sure all this is the same. So it's kind of crickets, or just make sure it's the same. Like that. Go down on this side. So that's what we're gonna do that right there, right? Okay. So now back to this part. So when you slide the collar on, see how it's slid on? You slide it from the top and it goes down. You make these leads come down. See, remember how we had the old leads on there? Remember we cleaned those and took this off. So now the way they had it is they had these two together. They had this lead like this. This was folded. Remember it was folded? They had this folded like that. It was folded. And then it was soldered and cut. See that? That's how they did that. Remember how it was originally? So we have to get this, maneuver this, put this like that, flat, and then solder it. Okay, so now this one is gonna, you remember what we're gonna do, right? So this one's new. We're gonna put this in flat, and we're gonna put that, we're gonna solder this kind of like that, and then, so we got the collar, we slid the collar up. So we slid it up, we're gonna solder it, and then we're gonna glue it and then slide it back down. So we slid this up to have a little more slack. So now we're gonna try to solder this. Bear with us, guys. Pray we get this done correctly. Remember, guys, I am not an expert. This is just showing you how we are going to do this. And hopefully this thing works. So we're going to put that right there. And we're going to put those two together. We're going to put those two together. And now we're going to put that right there. And then I think I got to cut that first. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna cut that and open that up first. So we're gonna put that, you want that, something like that. Okay, try not to burn myself. And then here we go. We got the solder in a little bit to hold some. You want these two together, okay? Just put that right there and then just, okay, there we go, that held. Okay, we're gonna turn that off real quick. We're gonna see that held. It's a little hot. I gotta put a little more. Okay, we're gonna put a little more, and then we're probably gonna hold this down with this blade. A little more. We'll put just a hair more. Okay, we're gonna use this blade just to hold it. There. When they're blowing on it, just let it dry. See the color getting a different color? Okay, that's done. Now we're gonna get this. See that soldered on there? Can't see that soldered? Now we're gonna get this, and we're gonna fold this on top the way they did it. We're gonna get this and just fold that on top. See how it's folded? That's what they did. They folded this on top. I'm probably have to cut a little more. We probably need some better cutters, but I got these. These are kind of small. Okay, so we got that right. So we're gonna fold this forward on top. See, it's kind of folded. So we soldered it. We have this, and we fold this on top, and then we're gonna solder again. See if we can get in there. Just a little hair more. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna try. We're learning just like y'all are. Okay, just a little more solder. Hold it. We're gonna use a blade to hold it where it dries. We're blowing on it. And that is done. Holy crap, we did it, guys. Look at that. See how we did that? We got a little burn right there, but we actually have tape to protect it. See that? So then, now, after we do all of them, we put glue, and then this slides back down, look. Remember how it was originally? This slides back down, remember? And then this gets tucked. This gets tucked right there like that and glued. See that? This gets tucked in there. So that's how we got that one done. We might just we might just trim this a little bit with the cutter, see that? So we got that, there it goes like that. Let's see. So that's gonna have a little gob of glue right there. So that's gonna be tucked in though. See? See how it moves? It's fine. See that? That's gonna be tucked in. So remember, we're still gonna tuck it in, so you're not gonna see that piece. We're gonna hide that. Okay guys, we're back. So after it's done, you know, we remember we had the collar like lifted up. Remember we had to lift it up to give it slack. So it was like this, look. Let me try to lift it up just a hair. See, it's not glued yet. See how it moves just a hair? Okay, it goes that way, right? But see how this is more exposed? So after you solder it, remember we folded it, then we're gonna push this back down, the collar, I'm just grabbing it, going towards me. See that? So I'm going towards me, and then we're gonna follow, remember that, these original two lines, that line right there, that's original line. And he's gonna make sure everything is you know, nothing is cockeyed or crooked or anything. And that looks just about right there. See that? Okay, and you see how we're just test fitting it, right? Nothing is glued. You can see how the solder hides right here, but look. So it goes down freely. No coil rub. No rubbing at all. So it goes pretty simple. See that? Okay, so after after we get you get the collar and you get it centered how you want to center it. Make sure it's straight and to your liking. Now we're going to put just a little bit of glue on here and just to hold the collar to the coil. Okay, see the glue? There we go. Okay, that's a little first layer. Now we're going to turn this. I'm going to do the other side. Okay, see this side needs some glue. So we're going to put some glue on this side. Okay, so we have that glued. We have glue on this whole area. Now we just gotta let it dry and we shall come back. Okay guys, we are back. So we have the collar glued. Remember we glued the collar? And remember we matched this line? So now we're gonna put glue on this part. But when you do this part, what we did is, in case y'all see some of the video, you get sandpaper, and there's old glue in here, so we got sandpaper, and we just went, sandpaper just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to take off all this old residue. So we cleaned it. You can see it's kind of scuffed up, scratched. See that? That's part of paper towel. Okay. So you see that, right? So we did that. Now we're gonna put some glue in here, and then we're gonna slide the collar into there. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna open the glue. It's kind of scary. Can y'all see right there or no? Okay, so we're gonna put some glue. I'm just kind of some glue in here, kind of generous. And just, you can see the glue, right? So I'm just keep putting the glue and just turn it as I do it. Kind of spread it out. Oh, sorry. Put glue. Glue. Okay, you went around the whole thing. There's no spots you missed. And that's how it looks there, but just a little more, just real quick. Okay. So now we're gonna get this collar, and we're gonna slide this in there to the line. Remember the line? Just get this in there, just kind of work it in there slowly. Okay, it's in there. Now, if y'all can see this line, remember that line right there? Let's see. Remember this line? That's how far the collar has to come down. See that line? So we're gonna grab the collar, and then we're gonna push it together so where it meets that line. So just kind of slowly finesse it up, just like that. You gotta do this off camera just a little bit. Okay, there we go. There we go. See, we hit the line right there. See, it's right on the line. So that's about it right there. So now we're gonna look at this, and you wanna make sure that this thing is exactly, straight. You don't want it cockeyed, crooked, so it's in there straight. We're just look at this. I mean, I can see. I mean, if y'all know if y'all can see what I can see, but get that glue out the way, and it looks pretty straight right there for the first try. Maybe I got lucky because we're on YouTube. Okay, so that's pretty straight. So we're gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna move this back over here. We're gonna move this back, and we just let this dry. You see that? You just put this way, and just let the glue do its job. Okay, so we let that dry some. Now we put glue on there. We slid the spider on. We put these little clamps just like for some weight to push down on it a little bit. And we have glue on there. Let me spin this so you can see. Back up the light. So we have glue on there. The clamps are on there just like a little bit of weight. All right. I'm gonna go down here. This is how it looks from the bottom. I'm gonna turn it back the other way so you can see. See, it's all glued. So everything's glued, guys. It wasn't too, it just takes time. See, it's glue. Right there we see a little air, a little white. So we'll put some more glue there in a second. We'll let that dry first and put another coat on that spot. But you see that? Little light shining through that little area. And that's it. And we're just gonna let this dry. All right, guys, and that's how we done it. That's how we did it. So we put the spider in here. We put glue. We used our glue. The glue took us about a day and a half for it to dry, but it's finally dry. Do you see that? The glue is finally dry in there. We got a little bit of messy right here, but it's okay. You know, we don't do this a lot, so we're not like super clean. We're not experts, but you know, we learn as we go. Next time I can mask this. I can mask this area that way I prevent that. We have glue everywhere. See that? See the glue? It's on there perfect. So all we have left to do now is we're gonna drop this in there. We're gonna drop this in there and we're gonna glue that in here. So we're gonna give you an example how we're gonna drop this in there, how it fits. So we don't have no glue on there yet. This is like a test fit. There. There. Make this set out. Okay. And that goes at that. And then we have our ring. We have a ring. And that's how we have it in there. We just have to put glue. This is just a test fit. Let's see how it looks. It's in there. Now we're gonna push right here down. So we're pushing down. It's ready to be glued. See that? Now, when we glue this, the glue takes a while to dry. So if we have, we put this in there, if we have any coil rub, see the spider? You can physically grab the spider and shift it like this while it's drying. You can move it a little bit because the glue gets gummy like bubble gum, like you step on gum on the bottom of your shoe, and it's pliable, so you have time to move it a little bit if there's any coil rub, and that way it's there's no coil rub. All right, guys, we have this at very low power. There's no glue, but I'm trying to show you how I do it so you kind of understand. You hear the rattle? It's not glued down, but watch. I'm gonna get my fingers and I'm gonna shift the coil and you can hear it. Listen. Do you hear that? Hear that? Now I'm pulling it towards me. Hear it? Yes? So we're gonna, so you can shift it. I'm shifting the yellow. See the yellow? Hear that? Okay, so do you hear that rattle? That's the sound I was talking about. So now we're gonna put the glue and then come back. Just put glue around the whole thing, and then we're about to put the coil on. Okay, so we got the speaker in there, and then when you put the speaker in there, you can turn this. You can turn the coil and the whole sub. And you want this? We're sending it right here to this bolt, and we're gonna put that right there. Our Allen wrench. We should have two. Cover our glue. Now we're gonna walk around and just we're gonna press the spider down. See, I press the spider down because there's glue on the bottom. So I'm just getting the spider and I'm just like pressing it down, the glue. Make sure it's all getting glue. Oh, I got glue in my hands. Now we're gonna give this a very, we're gonna do what we said earlier. We're gonna give it some low power and see what this thing does. So we're gonna give it some low power, and you should be able to hear, guys. It's on and there's no noise. No coil rub. It's on, guys. It's playing. It's glued. See how beautiful that is? To me it is. Look at that. Back to playing. I'm gonna try to turn up a little bit. I'm gonna turn up just a hair. See how I turned it up? So y'all understand? So we just put it on low power, and the low power helps because it's a little trick, because if it's rubbing, you can hear it and you have time to shift it, because this stuff takes about a day to dry. So it's on there right now, but it's gummy. So you can, you know, if it was rubbing, you can go, you know, kind of shift it this way, or pull it to get the rubbing away.
Okay, yeah,
for watching. Hopefully you learned a few things or a few tricks. Try this on your own. Thanks for watching, guys.